Before the rise of great empires, before the world knew the names of Rome or Athens, before Christianity or Islam, a different kind of fire lit the heart of ancient Persia. This was Zoroastrianism, one of humanity's oldest monotheistic religions. It was a faith built on a single powerful truth, the eternal struggle between good and evil, light and darkness. And at its very center, a sacred flame that has never been allowed to die. For thousands of years, this flame has burned brightly in mountain temples, desert sanctuaries, and hidden shrines across the ancient world. It was protected by generations of priests who saw fire not just as an element, but as the purest symbol of God's divine light and wisdom. This flame wasn't just a ritual. It was the physical embodiment of truth, order, and life itself. Join us on a journey back in time as we uncover the incredible story of this ancient faith. We'll explore the origins of Zoroastrianism and its mysterious prophet, Zarathustra, a visionary who challenged the beliefs of his time and introduced the world to the concept of one supreme, benevolent God, Ahura Mazda. We'll discover why fire, in its purest form, became the eternal symbol of divinity and purity, a sacred link between humanity and the heavens. We will see how this profound faith fueled the rise of the mighty Persian Empire, one of the greatest civilizations the world has ever known. From the legendary Cyrus the Great, who founded an empire built on tolerance and respect, to Darius the Great, who governed a vast territory with principles rooted in Zoroastrian ethics. This wasn't just a state religion. It was the moral compass that guided kings and commoners alike. The core belief in the struggle between light and darkness, between Asia and Druj, shaped every aspect of Persian culture, from their art and architecture to their laws and daily lives. The story of Zoroastrianism is also one of incredible resilience. We'll trace the survival of the sacred fire through centuries of turmoil, through devastating wars, relentless invasions, and the slow, grinding passage of time itself. When Alexander the Great conquered Persia, his armies sacked temples and destroyed scriptures, yet the flame endured. Through it all, a dedicated few kept the embers glowing, passing the tradition from one generation to the next. Imagine a single flame, passed down through over 100 generations, never once extinguished. It seems impossible, yet it is a living reality. We'll all take you to the few sacred places on earth where this ancient fire still burns today, untouched for centuries. In the fire temples of Yazd in modern-day Iran, and in the Adish Purans of India, cared for by the Parsi community, these flames are living artifacts, a direct connection to a world that existed 3,000 years ago. Priests continue to tend to them day and night, following rituals that have remained unchanged for millennia. This is more than just a history lesson. It is the story of a civilization guided not by swords, but by light. It is a testament to the enduring power of faith and the human spirit's refusal to let a sacred tradition fade into memory. Prepare to witness one of the world's oldest living religions, a story of survival against all odds, centered around a single eternal flame that simply refuses to go out. The prophet Zarathustra, or Zoroaster as the Greeks called him, lived sometime between 1500 and 1000 BCE in ancient Iran. He was a priest who became disillusioned with the ritualistic and polytheistic practices of his time. After years of meditation and seeking wisdom, he experienced a series of divine visions. In these visions, he was brought before Ahura Mazda, the wise lord, who revealed to him the fundamental truths of existence. Zarathustra taught there is one universal, transcendent God, Ahura Mazda, who is the creator of all that is good. He is the source of light, life, and truth, known as Asha. Opposing Ahura Mazda is Angra Mainyu, the destructive spirit, who represents darkness, chaos, and falsehood, known as Druj. Humanity, he preached, is caught in the middle of this cosmic battle. Every person is gifted with free will and has the responsibility to choose their path. The core tenet of Zoroastrianism became good thoughts, good words, good deeds. By living a life of righteousness, individuals could support the forces of good and help bring about the eventual triumph of light over darkness. This dualistic worldview was revolutionary. It provided a moral framework that was both simple and profound. It wasn't about appeasing a pantheon of angry gods. It was about actively participating in the cosmic order through personal ethics. Fire, known as Atar, was seen as the son of Ahura Mazda. It was the perfect symbol of this divine truth. Fire is pure. It gives light and warmth. It transforms, and it always points upwards towards the heavens. Zoroastrians don't worship fire itself, but they see it as the living embodiment of Ahura Mazda's presence on earth. The ever-burning flame in their temples represents the eternal light of God that should never be extinguished in the universe or in the human heart. This powerful philosophy resonated deeply with the Persian people and became the bedrock of their empire. When Cyrus the Great founded the Achaemenid Empire around 550 BCE, he established a new kind of rule. The Cyrus cylinder, an ancient clay artifact, describes how he respected the customs and religions of the lands he conquered. This policy of tolerance was deeply rooted in the Zoroastrian principle of free will. People should be free to choose their own path, as long as it aligns with order and truth. Later rulers, like Darius the Great, explicitly credited Ahura Mazda for their success. In the famous Behistun inscription, carved into a mountainside, Darius proclaims, "By the grace of Ahura Mazda, I am king. Ahura Mazda bestowed the kingdom upon me." He saw himself not as a god, but as a steward of Ahura Mazda's divine order on earth. Justice, honesty, and infrastructure projects like the Royal Road were all seen as manifestations of Asha, bringing order and prosperity to the world and pushing back against the forces of Druj. The empire wasn't just a military power. It was a moral project, an attempt to create a righteous society on a grand scale. The influence of Zoroastrianism didn't end with the fall of the Persian Empire. Many of its core concepts found their way into other major world religions. The ideas of a single god, a cosmic struggle between good and evil, a heavenly paradise and a hellish underworld for the wicked, the coming of a savior or messiah, and the final resurrection of the dead, all of these have strong parallels in Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. Many scholars believe that the Jewish people, during their exile in Babylon, were exposed to these Zoroastrian ideas, which then shaped the development of their own theology, and subsequently, that of the Abrahamic faiths that followed. It's a quiet but profound legacy, suggesting that a spark from this ancient Persian flame helped ignite some of the world's largest religions. The journey of the Zoroastrian faith and its sacred fire is a powerful epic of survival. After the fall of the Persian Empire to Alexander the Great, and later during the Arab conquest of Persia in the 7th century CE, Zoroastrians faced immense pressure to convert. Their temples were destroyed or repurposed, their sacred texts were burned, and their priests were persecuted. Faced with the threat of extinction, a small group of faithful Zoroastrians made a difficult choice. In the 10th century, they set sail from the shores of Iran, carrying with them a sacred flame from their homeland. They landed on the coast of Gujarat in India, seeking refuge. The local Hindu king, Jadi Rana, granted them asylum on the condition that they would not proselytize and would adopt local customs and dress. This community came to be known as the Parsis, which means Persians. They have not only survived, but have thrived in India, becoming one of the country's most respected and successful minority communities, known for their contributions to business, science, and the arts. And most importantly, they kept the fire burning. The highest grade of sacred fire, the Adish Barum, or Fire of Victory, is a monumental undertaking to consecrate. It involves gathering and purifying 16 different types of fire, including fire from a lightning strike, a potter's kiln, a king's hearth, and a funeral pyre. This process can take over a year and requires thousands of hours of prayer and ritual. Once enthroned in a temple, it is never allowed to go out. The oldest continuously burning Eteshbaram in India, located in the town of Udivara, has been burning for over 1,000 years, a direct descendant of the flame brought from Iran. It is a living link to Zarathustra himself. Today, the global Zoroastrian population is small, estimated at less than 200,000 people. They are scattered across the world, from Iran and India to North America and Europe. Yet, their ancient faith continues to inspire. In a world often filled with darkness and division, the simple yet powerful message of Zoroastrianism, to fight for good through our thoughts, words, and deeds, remains as relevant as ever. The story of the sacred fire is a beautiful metaphor for the resilience of the human spirit. It teaches us that even in the face of overwhelming odds, a single flame of hope, truth, and goodness, if carefully tended, can burn forever. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey. If you found this story inspiring, please like, share, and subscribe for more explorations into our world's hidden histories.